permission of the House, I'll share with my
Agreed.
colleague. Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Minister and commend the Minister and her department on the work and thought that they've put into the Social Welfare and Pensions Bill of 2011. This bill, along with the Finance Bill, will bring into legislation measures that will promote this government's jobs initiative, changes needed in the Social Welfare Code and the Pensions Act. I view this bill as a reaction to restore equity for the lower paid by the introduction of the hourly rate of $8.65 as the minimum wage from the 1st of July, something that we've held close to our hearts, and it's a protection of those that are most vulnerable in society. And the Labour Party, as well as Fine Gael, came around to the line of thought that this was something that essentially had to be done with utmost importance, and we're dealing with it within our first 100 days in government. And I commend you on that, and I'm delighted to be part of it. This reinstatement of the minimum wage is a reaction to a harsh and unfair decision by Fianna Fáil government to drastically slash €40 every week directly from the pocket of our lowest paid workers. €40 doesn't sound like an awful lot of money, but when you think of it as 11% of take-home pay, it's an amount of money which leaves you with €306 to go about living, and thereby you question whether or not it's worth your time actually working. We must reward those that work. This government's decision to restore the minimum wage shows that it's committed to the low-paid workers and to those in society who are most vulnerable. And we must do this at all times throughout the government and the tenure. We need to stimulate the economy, and the reduction of the minimum wage was doing the exact opposite. As any of those of you who know people that are on the minimum wage, they spend every penny that they earn. They drive the economy. The reason they spend it is because they need to. They need it to survive and to sustain any standard of living whatsoever. And to reduce that further puts people into a position where they're living in working poverty, but also into a position where, you know, there's a sense of decency as to what it is you're trying to achieve in a society. And that can be questioned by living off of €306 for a 40-hour week. The timely reversal would vindicate Labour's position that the lowest paid workers should be protected first and that work should be rewarded. Work has to be rewarded, and this cut certainly was not an incentive. The reversal of an inconceived attack on the lowest earners in our society will make a real difference to those who join the workforce and decide to do so on those grounds. The bill also sets up a national internship scheme, and this is something that I'm very happy to see, because throughout Europe and Canada and Australia, you see people looking to get onto an internship program with a view to getting into real work. Those that have been on job seekers allowance for more than 3 months to gain valuable experience and combat long-term unemployment. People want to work, and the prospect of long-term unemployment is very demoralising and very unfair. The internship scheme is a step in helping people re-enter the workplace, and it is a positive development. I think that there are people throughout the country who will be looking at this as a way of staying in Ireland, developing tacit knowledge, developing experience, and also gaining a bit of self-pride and being participators in developing businesses, voluntary organisations, public sector, and overall, you know, it's going to put people with skills to work and education to work. We have it in abundance, but there's a sense of energy that will come from that too. And it's 5,000 people to begin with, and I think we can do more with this. I think we can even take it further afield, and I'm working with some of the departments on issues related to that at the moment.
1 minute remaining.
It's important to keep the unemployed close to the work environment, and this scheme should be viewed as an opportunity to train and get hands-on experience that may be crucial to their success in finding work in the near future. If this internship gives any young people an opportunity, well, it's to be commended. While considering the lowest paid in society, the government also has to aid the employers. The halving of employers' PRSI rates has set out in the bill is a welcome development because, as we know, small businesses up and down the length and breadth of the country are finding it hard to survive with rents and rates that are crippling them as a result of a false economy. Well, they're getting a break in a direction which will entice them to employ people again, and particularly in labour-intensive industries, which will help with tourism, agribusiness and micro-enterprise, 3 areas which we have particular proficiency. The easing of costs on employers in this way will help job creation and labour cost competitiveness also.
Deputy, might conclude now because it's time.
Yeah, my last comment is in relation to, there's an awful lot of people making comments inside here that are not cognizant of the fact that the IMF are here. We have lost our financial sovereignty, and there will be very few good days until the IMF are gone from our shores. But now, at the moment, we're taking small steps and gradual steps to improve the country. And those that can't contribute to it, I commend them for doing so. And everybody has a part to play, and this is a good day and a good step in the right direction.